Hello, my friends. This is Sandy, and this video is going to walk us through my beautiful gallery 10-page kit. Now, I'm not going to actually go through the process of assembling because it's actually pretty easy. I'm just going to walk through all the different things from the kit to the samples that I've created. The stamp sets that you will need are the Scenic Adventure and the month by month alphabet, which was part of Album Retreats um, bundle. Then I just wanted to let you know I also used the Scenic Adventures dies to create all this fun. These are awesome. I am having so much fun with them. So you might want to grab those, put them in your stash. Okay. So I do have one, maybe two kits left of this if you wanted to get your name on one. Um, you've got teeny tiny little pieces that I put in a bag so you didn't lose them. We're going to use those, I think, yep, on the second set of pages. So those can get set aside. You've got a little strip of the gems, which are the natural matte dyes. And then you've got some pieces on top here that we're going to do some prep work with. So here's what I did with those four pieces. And all of these things are going to get cut out and used throughout the project. Um, so if you want, go ahead and get all that stuff prepped, maybe take a screenshot and get that part done. There are five different stacks kind of in here, each being separated by two 12 by 12 pieces. So this is the first layout. You're going to snip these little mountain pieces off. You've got kind of extra pieces there that you're just going to trim down on your mountains. Then we've got two big trees and three little trees. Oh, I think only two little trees and one of them's for the next layout. All right, we've got some photo mats and then a whole bunch of pieces. These are all 1.5 by 6-inch pieces. So what you're doing to start this layout is, so it's ready, set, here we go. Let the journey begin. 3-inch space, then put two of those pieces. 3-inch space, put two of those pieces. 3-inch space, put two of those, right? So it's just a pattern that you're carrying across this whole thing. Then once those are down, you can add your pictures. If you've already got your pictures ready to go, there's those 3 photo mats go there. The other pictures just kind of fit right into those wells. Then I stamped. So I'm going to grab this stamp set. So I stamped it in green. Let me pull this up close so you can see these trees. I stamped the whole thing in green and then just went through with a brown pen, and I didn't do the entire tree, so it looks like there's still some branches coming out kind of toward you, but you can tell that there's a tree going all the way up. And then same thing on all those green ones. This one I rubbed with some sandpaper to give it a little texture. Same thing here. I used those, the pen just to add a little color. I used a marker to add some color there. Did I tell you which one? No, but it's probably cloud cover. All right. Ooh, not that one. This one right here. So same thing over here. Just add a little bit of that pen to those trees. All of the lettering I did using the month by month alphabet. You really could just use these if you're not using my stamps, right? If you're at home, you already got this kit and you're not going to make it over to do the class. What I'd recommend is just use whatever words you want to use, and maybe your layout is a little bit different, but it's still really fun, right? Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about is the mountains. All of those mountain pieces, I just took sandpaper and rubbed over top of it so that that really makes the mountain layers pop a little bit. Now, you may have some that kind of flip up a little bit, just rub them back down. Up here, we've got two different mountain pieces. So this is the shorter, let's see, let me grab it. So this one right here, along with this one right here. So that's that piece. So you get a little bit there, then the lump, and then down here I just did the one. And that's it for that layout. So that takes care of all of those pieces. So the layout of this two-page spread here is exactly the same as the last two, but this time we do the two side by side, and then instead of leaving a space, we're going to add here this piece. And then, so each one of these fits in those spaces, but there's a few that I have done a little fun stuff too, like this one right here has a cutout. So what you're going to do before you lay this one down up here is you're going to put that yellow piece behind it, and that makes the moon and the stars really close. You can see those stars, makes those pop. So that's how you get that. You've got your photo wells in there, all of these clouds. So the clouds that I stamped on that sheet, I did in a rainbow of colors. So then I matched up the colors with the squares that each of the clouds fall on. You could do them all in black and it would still look awesome, right? But the whole idea here is that you get that full cascade of rainbow kind of coming across the page. I did Cheers to Another Adventure up there. Each one of these little pieces I stamped on. So this one has clouds done in white. And then we've got that cute little, that one's right here from the album retreat stamp. Excuse me. I did that little stamp on each one of these colored pieces. Right, so I went through and just added, oop, I didn't do it to the green one, but I did it to these and I didn't do it to this dark one. But I just added a little bit of texture, right? To each one of those spaces, I just did a various different bit of layering. This one here, I used the embossing or the die cut for that. So if you're here, you can just use this die cut to create that little lakey look, or it probably would look beautiful without it too. But just a fun layout of color. Easy enough, right? With this layout, we've got the two base pages in green. Slide this one over. And then our two 6x6 that have the scenery, two 6x6 that are more wood grain looking. And then we've got our two strips of this paper here that you're going to tear. You decide light or dark. And I just tore those on both sides and put them down along the bottom to create kind of a flow of color. I felt like it needed just a little more color. So add your photo mats once you get that part on. And then let me pull this up close for some details. I did dash marks around the edge. Got my little banner of relax. Did little bubbles here of, that's just the stamp from the album retreat. And the little heart is too. Yeah, there's all your fun little, same thing with the trees. Here I stamped these three trees in green on that black and white piece. Same thing over here. I just did the trees in a different spot. Let me pull the trees side by side so you can kind of see them next to each other. So we've just got a little scattering of green trees in with that black and white paper, which I think is really fun to add a pop of color. Up here with this heart, I did a little splash of, and all this stamping I did with that white ink. Fun, right? All right. This one I think was my favorite one to create. So we've got the two scenery papers, which are absolutely stunning, aren't they? Um, 6 in or 3 inches down, 3 inches up, so that's even with the blue next to it. Put your brown pieces top and bottom of that. The base is pretty easy. Add your photo wells in there. And now I cut all of the mountains and trees for you, right? Everything's been cut. So down here, you're taking that one mountain, long mountain scene and the one long tree scene, and you're going to tape half of it here and half of it here because that's 6 inches apart, right? So you can either cut it right down the middle, or what I did was I attached one to the other, right? So just tape that right onto there. And then I taped this one on and cut it off and taped the rest over there. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Then you've got these other mountain pieces, right? So this big one is going to go up here, and you'll add this piece up there with it. And then you've got these other two mountain pieces. One's going to tuck here and one's going to tuck here, just giving you again that extra layer. Then one of the trees, again, adding that brown, or it looks like it did a darker black, maybe even, but adding the stems or the tree part to the leaves. Our weekend escape, or whatever it is you want yours to say, but pretty easy pages to assemble, right? Once we get all the work done ahead of time, and for you guys, so you didn't have to do any work because I did all your cutting for you. It's just, creating whatever sentiments you want to do, or leave the sentiments off, and it's still quite lovely. So here's our last set of pages. And with this one, did I do it like that? No, like this. It's the same layout we just did where we got 6 by 6 squares kind of running across the middle with those extra 3 by 6s. It's just flip-flopped on this one, right? But pretty much the same layout. So the base goes down really easy, simple. Add your photo wells. And with this one, all I did is just added little clusters of leaves and sprigs, again, from that album retreat stamp set. That is awesome. The You're Amazing comes from the Scenic Adventure. All the sentiments came from this Scenic Adventure, except the ones I created with the alphabet stamps. So here's a little more clustering for you. All the hearts are done with the stamps from the album retreat stamp. Pretty easy, but gorgeous. Makes me so happy. I'd love for some comments. And again, if you want one of these kits, let me know and I'll get your name on it, reserve it for you. Thanks for watching, friends.